Right, and we are live. Hello and welcome to Global News for Entrepreneurs. This is episode 18 with me, Chris Kolbe. Can you believe 18 episodes, 18 or a little bit more weeks of the show? And it's great to have you with us. So what you can look forward to on the show for today is we've got some fun news, and basically we just cover some things that are happening around the world. We're going to cover all the news happening with Explore Protech Tribe and what's new and up and happening. And then we're going to be chatting to what I've dubbed and just sort of nicknamed him the guy called the safety guy, not the safety song, the safety guy. We're going to be finding out a whole lot more about why safety is important and a new simple quick solution for safety training. So that's coming up later on the show. But the big one that we always talk about at the beginning of the show, this is a great opportunity for you. The next global online speed networking event happening on the 23rd of November. So that's Tuesday coming, next week, 6 p.m. GMT +2 through until 8 p.m. GMT +2. It's an absolutely brilliant event that we run with Explore Protech. And it's an opportunity for you to connect with dynamic entrepreneurs from around the world and get to know them, make some great connections. ALLAN, in fact, met us also through Global Online Speed Networking, and he's now part of us, and it's opened many doors, made some great connections, and that's just how it works. We do things slightly differently. Nobody in the world does our networking like us. It is a completely unique way, and we focus more on creating relationships and having those conversations first, and then we get down to great business together. It's an event you cannot miss out on, happening on the 23rd of November, 6 to 8 p.m. GMT +2. The link is down below, so you can go and register right now. And hey, if you really want to be there and you're struggling with your ticket, or you want to be a special guest, contact me and I'll happily sort you out for a ticket. The most important thing is that you're there Tuesday, 23rd of November, 6 p.m. GMT +T, to go register right now. Link is down below. Okay, so the show has been running for 18 weeks and we are still looking for a sponsor. So you see that little gap there on the wall. I will put your brand there and I'll talk about your brand every time on the show. So if you're looking for your sort of target market is dynamic entrepreneurs from around the world and small businesses, have a chat with me. Let's set up something and we can highlight your business on this channel through to a whole lot of entrepreneurs from around the world. So contact us. It'll be great to hear from you. Definitely looking for that sponsor. It'll help us get better sound, better production, all of those kind of things, and uplift the show as well. So give me a shout. So then we're also on the way to 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. We've been pushing really hard. And if you're not subscribed yet, well, there's all the buttons all around. Go subscribe. And it's not only to help us get to the 1,000 subscribers. We definitely love to get there for obvious reasons. But the other reason is we're constantly putting on amazing content that you will find absolutely undeniably valuable for you. So, you know, you can get the notifications and then you don't miss out anything. And we're always posting stuff around tips on finance, health and wellness, recipes, motivation, things like how to build your business from nothing, all kinds of great content that we're constantly putting on the YouTube channel. You don't want to miss out on that. So make sure you subscribe and join us for every time. Also, if you're streaming live right now and you'd like to do a shout out, welcome to post something in the live stream and I'll get the messages and do a shout out for you live on the show. Right, on to some news, and was running a bit shorter there. So the first big news here in South Africa is, load shedding is back. So we have this wonderful thing where we have our power provider for South Africa called Eskom, and they've done a very questionable job over the last 20 odd years or whatever. And every now and again, they kind of run out of electricity. So what they do is they call it rolling blackouts in other countries, but they do load shedding here. And for certain periods of the day, depending on what level you are, we just don't have electricity for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. And sometimes it can be up to 3 times a day, which does make doing business a little bit tricky as rest of the other things like cooking food and general day-to-day life. But anyway, hopefully you've got a UPS system or some backup to keep you running, because we all need it here anyway to keep busy. And I must say, on my way to the office this morning, I was like, forgot my UPS. So I'm very lucky that I'm actually here and I've got electricity. But anyway, to my fellow South Africans, yes, yeah, welcome back to load shedding. And I'm going to end with a good news South African story. And this is actually relevant for around the world. So check out for that. But first, we're going to have a look at some technology trends from the COVID-19 era that are here to stay. Now, of course, one of them is, like we're doing now, your digital office. Zoom, online, everything, meeting people rather online than driving. And a lot of people are getting tired of it and saying, yeah, I know, but I'm tired of Zoom meetings and I've got Zoom fatigue and all of these things. Tell you what, last week I had to go visit a client in Cape Town, which is just down the road. It's about 45 minutes drive. But due to traffic, it took me 2.5 hours to get there and 45 minutes back. And when I got back, I thought I could have done at least 2 to 3 meetings in that time I was stuck in a car. So yes, I've got a Bluetooth set and I can send messages and do a bit of work while I'm driving, but I'd much prefer to hop online, do a quick Zoom meeting, and then I don't have to sit in traffic and spend money on diesel and petrol and things that are getting so expensive now. So, your digital office is here to stay. And I mean, this one's undeniable. We've seen a huge uptake of companies making people work from home and adopting remote work and all of those things, which is great. And then we're going to start seeing some really cool innovations to make your digital office that little bit better, and innovations that come around that. So I'm really excited to see all of those really cool innovations coming to make your home digital office even better than what it is now. Then this is a very interesting one. It's called telehealth. So basically, it's making use of your high-end mobile networks and connectivity. And then we've got Starlink, which is coming on board soon. So that's internet from space and all of those kind of things. But what they're saying is this trend is what they've learned with the virus and not being able to be in contact with people and getting to remote areas and things. They're going to be using this technology to send robots in and or use doctors and nurses to consult and diagnose and treat people remotely themselves as well. So it's called this telehealth system where remote healthcare is now going to become a thing as well, which is completely new concept. I didn't even know that was there, but it's actually rolling out at the moment and it's here to stay. The other ones, I mean, we've seen these growing, but it's just going to keep growing. So this is just trends to reinforce exactly what's happening. But online learning, everybody's moving on to online learning because there's the benefit seen from not having to travel and all of the things that come with that. But also on the other side is obviously the safety and health risk of people getting together to learn in a classroom environment now with the spread of COVID and potentially, I don't know, maybe other viruses down the road. So online learning is incredibly, incredibly important. And that's actually really cool that we're chatting to Alan about that because he's got an amazing solution about online learning. That's a whole new take on things. It's very exciting. So we'll be finding out more about that. But online learning is here to stay. So if you're not on that train, you might want to get onto it right now. Then contactless transactions. We all know that you don't have to touch anything. So it's those tap and your near, what's those near chip thingies in your phone and all of that kind of stuff. That technology is just going to become more adopted. It's already there and pretty developed, but it's going to be more and more adopted into things. And I'm sure this whole e-wallet story for mobile phones, yes, it's pretty popular in most of Africa, but it hasn't quite spread to the world. It's definitely going to become a thing where you don't even have a card or a credit card. You just got your phone and you go bloop, and then it's done. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Artificial intelligence, the uptake with that, and that's all around automation and getting things moving for you and having to do less and making you more productive. And AI, for reasons linked to COVID, yes, it's growing phenomenally, but also other reasons, it's really just going to explode from here on out. So again, what you're going to have to do is become an early adopter. These are things that are here, that are trending at the moment, and they're going to stay. It's not like the Tamagotchi that was famous and popular for a year or two and then it disappeared. This kind of stuff's going to stay. It's going to be around for a while. So make sure that you get on board, learn about it and adopt. And we might know a whole tribe of people that can help you with those various different areas as well. Right, other news. So Fortnite, the game, which I still got to get, I must say, a lot about being said at the moment is your mental health, where you're working from home and a small business owner and the stress that we're all under. We're focusing on our mental health. And I've started deciding, well, I've got to work on mine. And one of the things that I can do with that is to start gaming again. I used to love some gaming, and it's a really cool way to relax and all of those things. Anyway, Fortnite's one of the ones I haven't been able to play yet. But in a way, they're kind of taking on Google. And Google's so worried about Fortnite undercutting and trying to negate its Play Store that it's formed its own Fortnite task force. So long story short, Fortnite made itself available no longer on, well, as another alternative to the Google Play Store. And that was their way to try and get away from the sales fees and digital fees that come with being on the Play Store. And Google went back and said, no, well, you can't do this. And the Apple App Store did the same thing as well and actually removed them. And they're just so big and growing that Google's even worried about that. And then there's your other Play Stores that are coming out with Samsung Play Store, your Huawei one, and all of those. I don't think it's such a bad thing. And the only takeaway I want to take away from this is maybe there's a bit of competition entering the market, and then you don't have somebody who has a complete monopoly again anymore, which is always a good thing at the end of the day, is to have a free open market with competition. So Fortnite, I shall make a plan, try and make some sales, and purchase your product and start playing it. Because if you're going to be taking on Google, then the little couple of rands that I've got will happily put it towards you. And not because I have something against Google, it's once again just helping with that competition, creating the free market, and there's not just one big bully in the market. Anyway, another one coming up, and this is the South African good news. How cool is this? Okay, so how do I put this nicely? Here in South Africa, we've got some service delivery problems, basically, sewage, and like I mentioned earlier with the load shedding power and stuff like that. And sewage is becoming a big problem because the water networks haven't been maintained. So there's a lot of waste. And a student from UCT has developed a way to turn urine into fertilizer. And that makes sense. I mean, some of your main ingredients are in urine, like ammonia and things like that. And she's developed it in such a way that it's actually viable and feasible to produce fertilizer from urine. And then you're not using chemicals. You're just using something that's there. And it's a great sustainable project that's going to be rolling out. But this is where it gets even cooler. Your jet, as in the next time you fly, maybe not soon, but in the future, could be fueled by urine, because she's working out a way and she's doing the final feasibility study on turning urine into jet fuel. Now, I think that would be a really cool thing. It might require quite a lot of urine and quite a lot of people to produce it. Thankfully, the world is full of them. And who knows? Jet fuel from urine. And I love stories like that because it's sustainability. It's taking something that's waste and there already and flowing into our sea and all of those things, and producing very much usable, good products with that. Alan's got a great comment on that saying, yes, drink more beer, which is funny. Also having a look at our live stream, just everybody tuned in. Welcome to the show. Janine, welcome. Lucia. It looks like they're having a little chat there on the live stream as well. If you're watching live, you'd like me to do a shout out, definitely drop a message on there. Cool. Some tribe news. Okay. So I was talking about a little bit earlier, you've got to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we've got all of this great content. And just to highlight some of it, the last episode of Global News for Entrepreneurs, number 17, that's there. The link's down below. Then the FBiz show that I did with Janine Lingenfelder on Friday with Karen Greef, all about Fascinating 7. Great interview, great fun show. That was actually probably one of the best ones we've done. So go check it out. The link is down below. Then the last coffee shop show from Friday was how to grow your small business with joint ventures. You see, this is the kind of cool content that we keep putting on the YouTube channel. That's why you must subscribe. I mean, what a great concept, and to learn how to grow your business with joint ventures. Everybody's always going on about, oh, you're going to scale your business, but you may not have the finances or the resources to do it. Here's another creative and great feasible way of doing it, is through joint ventures with other people. And then as that grows, then you get to the point where you can start employing people and paying the extra things. So some great videos there. Go check out through all the videos on our channel. There's amazing stuff I've said there, everything from finance to recipes, you name it. Events coming up for Explore Protech, and these ones are definitely a winner. I mentioned it earlier, 23rd of November, the Global Online Speed Networking, 6 p.m. GMT +2. The link is down below. Just book your tickets now. You get to meet unique, dynamic entrepreneurs from around the world and increase your net worth through your network. So there's the concept, how to grow your business through joint ventures. How do you meet people and grow great relationships with people to do those joint ventures? Where you do it through networking. Here's a great networking opportunity to meet all kinds of people across all industries, across the entire world. It's an awesome event. Just go and link, just go click. Then there's the next Explore VAN, which is the Virtual Assistance Network, a great network of virtual assistants from around the world, helping, assisting, growing the industry themselves. It's amazing. That's happening tomorrow. That's the 18th of November, 6 p.m. GMT +2. I'm going to be one of the guest speakers. I'm looking forward to actually being there. I'm going to be covering Hello Marketing, my old friend, a back to basics approach to marketing. Sometimes we need to go back to those basics. So I'll be chatting there. The other guest speaker will be Donna, and she's going to be talking about time management, which at the moment is super important, like having to be stuck for almost 3 hours or just over 3 hours in traffic to go to a client and back, and how to do your time management around things like that. There's tribal tea time tonight, tribe members. Just check the times. I think it's 6 or 4 p.m. Not 100% sure, but we're getting training on the LinkedIn software that Scott has given the tribe. Tell you what, I've been running with this, and I did my first 100 connections this week. Thank you very much, Scott, and your software. And it's great. I'm growing my LinkedIn network at the same time, and starting real conversations with people on LinkedIn. It's amazing software. You need to come to the training this afternoon and check it out and get it on board and start using it. It's so powerful, and allows you to do a lot more than what you can do with just your normal LinkedIn, and it saves you tons of time. I think to do those 100 connections in a week has taken me collectively 15-20 minutes max. And you try and do that all by yourself on LinkedIn. So tribe members, make sure you're there for that training. And that's one of the benefits of being an Explore Protech tribe member. And then there's the coffee shop show this Friday as well, 1 p.m. GMT +2. We always have a fantastic topic and a panel of experts who join us and share some insights and great content with us. So make sure you tune in for that. A few members who are making waves at the moment, and welcome to our new members, Lucia and Natalie. Welcome to the tribe. Great to have you guys on board. You're going to have been lots of fun. And Natalie actually speaking, which is a health and wellness coach for doTERRA. So her company, Just Be, is going to be adding essential oils to the portfolio that they're going to be launching on Facebook Live soon. So keep an eye on her channels. And then Alan, who we're going to be chatting to shortly, I'm going to be working with him, help him get onto LinkedIn Live that he's now got available. But he's landed a massive big project in North Carolina for 8 months, which is a huge win. So well done to Alan. And remember, tribe, send me your news and then I can cover it with you. Quick one. You'll see in the links down below, there's our Explore Protech shop. Yes, you can actually buy things like blog writing or marketing course with me or video content. There's actually just so many, I can't remember them all off the top of my head. So go check out the shop. You can purchase those items online, and really great value for you as well. And then also in the description below, before I forget, is the Steam's training on SKILLSHARE. There's a link for that. Go check that out. It's all about lead generation, which you do need to do. So definitely do that. Right, last check, urine fuel. Now I've heard everything. Yep, you've heard it, everything. First time on the show, Janine. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so onwards to our interview. I call him the Mr. Safety guy, not the safety dance, but it's great to have you on the show with us from Cairo this morning. Welcome, Alan. And you're muted. There's a button somewhere. There you go.
There we are. Yeah, the space bar was not working. I had that all worked out, and of course it let me down. But such is technology, and while you guys have load shedding, we just have intermittent power failures for whatever reason.
Okay, so in Egypt and Cairo, they just don't tell you. They just put it off.
Whatever goes on, it goes down, and it comes back when it's good and ready.
So the days of our lives. But I mentioned that you're the safety guy. Now, obviously, everybody's intrigued as to why I'm calling you the safety guy. Why do I call you that?
Well, for a lot of reasons. One is I have certainly a couple of companies here, Industrial Employee Safety, which does full service safety contracting, including on-site safety officers that we're going to be doing up in North Carolina. We also build and help people develop their safety management programs. As business owners, we are certainly morally responsible for the safety of all our employees, if not legally responsible. It changes around the world, and I come from one of the most regulated places in the world, in the Canadian oil field. I think only the British offshore oil field is more regulated. But be that as it may, safety is important, because if you as a business owner show that you care for your employees, they will stay with you about 25% longer. If you create that nurturing and winning team, then the team will start to take the business to a higher level all on their own, because we all love to be part of a winning team, right? Hence the billion-dollar sports industry. It's not billions of dollars just based on the guy's skills. It's billions of dollars because we want to be there. We want to live vicariously through those people. You know. So and to pull it back into business, safety isn't a passion of most entrepreneurs. Safety actually gets in the way of getting your stuff done, because you're passionate about what you're passionate about. And safety is a lot of legislation and steps and education that you just simply don't have time to deal with.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to say, isn't it a bit like a parachute? So I don't right now, where I'm sitting, need a parachute. But I tell you what, when I really need it, I'll be very happy that it's there. Exactly.
Like if you work up high and you're wearing a harness and all your fall protection gear, you might work standard 40, 45, maybe even 50 years and never fall until you do. And then you really want that set of personal protective gear to go to work and do the job. Because the one constant around the world to most degree is gravity. If you step off the roof anywhere in the world, you will meet the ground. And it will most likely be painful. So that's on the that's kind of on the construction safety side. The other company that I have, Soteria 120, is a market disrupting company that is bringing training, and I guess I try not to actually use that particular word. It brings learning to a much different level, and instead of sitting in a classroom or going through huge tomes of books of knowledge, what we're doing is we're giving you 2-minute pieces every day on whatever it is that you want to learn. Where we started and where we're concentrating on at the moment is construction safety, because we feel that the workforce, those folks deserve to be safe. Not only that, but if you're working safer, you're not getting hurt, so you're not putting a load on the medical system. which at this point in time has been overworked a little bit. And most of us are not masochists and really don't want to get hurt. It just hurts. It just hurts less to not fall, kind of thing. So one of the problems that conventional training has is this. Your brain, everybody's brain, is bored easily. We have the supercomputer of supercomputers between your ears, and it needs to be entertained all the time. If it doesn't get entertained, it goes off and starts thinking about other things. And so what we do is we go, okay, 2 minutes, you can focus. And in 2 minutes, we can deliver 5 to 9 questions on whatever it is, or activities on whatever it is that you want to learn. The magic happens the next day when you now ask your brain to retrieve that information when you see the same activity. And when your brain has to go and retrieve it, it goes, oh, I had to do that yesterday and last week and the month before. This must be important information. I'm going to put that in long-term memory. And when that occurs, a behavioral change happens. So you naturally start towing the line or working safe, or if you're working at an electronics shop, all of a sudden you know all the bits and pieces about the digital cameras or the whatever it is that you want to learn about. Really, you all of a sudden understand where all this comes from, because your brain has recognized that it's important. We don't use a lot of our brain.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you and I met a while ago and you took me through this process, and I was super excited about it because it's a completely new concept, really, of this micro training where you're learning it in small chunks consistently. And I would almost call it a form of adoption rather than training, because you're doing small pieces every day, which becomes habit. And you're getting it to the point where it's already almost in your subconscious. You've gone through it, you've learned it properly and adopted it, and the knowledge that it becomes second nature to do it. So that thing of, oh, wait, hang on, we're halfway through this, we better look at our safety where it's a bit late. You already have it in your mind. It's already a part of you that you go straight into things going, okay, well, this is the project. I don't have to think too much about it because it's second nature now to me. It's adopted. I've thought about it already, and it's in place. And that's what I love about this micro training. Right.
So to extend that out, and in terms of, well, I'm focusing on safety because you got to focus on something. It's a big world otherwise. But through my association with Explore Protech, we are now going to bring this to the entrepreneur who has less than no time to learn and a long laundry list of stuff to go through. So instead of, or in addition to sitting through a weekend class or whatever on social media, boot camp, or whatever it is that we as entrepreneurs want to learn, you can sit through that, but you cannot absorb that. And it requires that you go back and search that stuff out. So instead of doing that, we're going to augment that with Soteria 120s. We're going to take those courses, put them into Soteria 120, and it will deliver to you every day. You don't have to go looking for it. And it won't suck time out of your day. It's 2 minutes. There you go.
Well, I will be honest, I've spent more than, and I'm a busy entrepreneur, more than 2 minutes on TikTok already this morning. So, you know, that's a little bit more productive. And like you said, the applications are there. It doesn't have to necessarily with Soteria be linked to what's already there, which is the safety industry, but also the applications across all forms of training and learning, because the nice thing about it at the same time is it does assessment and learning at the same time. It doesn't just give you facts or things like that. The system's built in a way to assess your level of competence and where you're at in the areas that you may be struggling. And then it provides you the training in those areas that you need the most.
Right. And one of the biggest challenges that we have in conventional courses is you'll sit in you bring a room of 20 people together. And the first thing your instructor does is say, okay, so what's your experience? And guys go around, oh yeah, I've been doing this for 30 years, or doing this for 15. And then there's 2 or 3 guys that, yeah, we've never done this before. And there's a collective groan that goes through the class and goes, oh yeah, we're a beginner course now. So already 15 of those guys are thinking about beers at 5 o'clock or the game or whatever's going on, and they're not either participating in the class or getting anything out of it. They're just there. They're there again for a ticket. I've taught both types of classes. And when you've got an engaged bunch of people that have all done this for X number of years, you actually get into decent conversations, even about stuff that they've had, they've taken the course 7 or 8 times. And it's kind of funny because they whine about, oh, God, this is the 5th time I've taken this. And I kind of look at it and go, well, this is the 5th time this week I've taught it. Look at it from my point of view here. And with Soteria, because it recognizes when you know stuff, it doesn't bother boring you with stuff you already know. Once it learns it, it learns what you know. It just focuses on the stuff that you need help with. So your brain will naturally stay engaged because it's learning. And that's and the other part of this is because this is essentially a whole series of web pages, we use multimedia, anything. So we can capitalize on what's already out there, what people have, they want to put stuff in, no, not a big deal, whatever we need. The other really exciting thing that my partner Robert and I have been kicking around is pulling in more third-party software. So one of the biggest challenges that we have in construction safety training is the proficiency assessment. So I'm going to give you a fall protection course. Now I need to see you put on the harness and get it on right. I need to see you inspect the harness and do that correctly. How do you do that with where we're at right now? Well, there are 3 or 4 companies that are working on video AI to go through and to watch what people are doing. So I got one of my safety associates back in Canada is looking at this for truck driving assessments. So you've got 2 cameras and they're watching the truck driver and they're watching his eyes and they can tell where he's looking, how he's shifting, the whole dynamics of the computerized truck. So
sure,
we could then actually go through, send the guy out on a truck and just do a driving assessment remotely.
That's brilliant. So again, I mean, like we said with those trains earlier, online learning is there, AI is there. Also, I mean, the digital office, because then you could do your course from your home or your office using your mobile phone and using the app. Then you can submit your assessment video that then checks everything and make sure that you've done it right. And you can do your qualification or your certificate or whatever comes with it at the time. And then it's done. It's quick and simple and easy.
Yeah. Now, one of the interesting things that occurs is when you go to 2 minutes a day, every day, you wind up with 8 hours of training over a year. So when we kind of looked at this and did the math in Canada, at least, most of your tickets are good for 3 years. Okay, so when we kind of sat down and did the calculation, oh, gee, look at that. We're giving you 3 times more training. So you can't help but get better.
Yeah.
At whatever it is you're doing. And the nice thing is the way the base program's developed is you will become an expert. You can't help but get there if you stick with it. And these are lifelong learning things. This is not something that you do for 3 months and then throw in the corner. No, this is what you just keep it with you. It's there.
And after a few days of doing it for your 2 minutes every day, then it becomes habit, and then you do it every day, and then you got your continuous learning covered. And it's simple as that. And I could see this growing to the point where you could have multiple different courses running at the same time. So yes, maybe you're doing 6 minutes a day, but that could be divided between 3 courses.
Well, I'm glad you went down that road. I was going to bring that up, Chris. I've been in testing the programming and seeing how this all works. I loaded myself up with 8 courses and just set for twice a day, so 4 minutes a day. And what happens is you are then presented with questions from all 8 courses, which actually simulates your average day of work. Right? You got to change from fall protection or to project management to we got an HR problem going on here to a mental wellness bit. So it challenges your mind on many different levels, and that's the key to learning, keeping that, this stuff up here engaged, is keep it busy.
Exactly. And not have to overload yourself with long hours and courses and trying to focus on one thing at the same time. My internet is dipping, but Alan, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I think that opens many eyes as to explain what it is that you do and how it does. The links are down below to go contact Alan. The website, LinkedIn, as well as the Satira website is there. So make contact with Alan and start walking that journey to not only getting your safety right. And Alan, trust me, Alan can show you and explain to you perfectly not only why you need it, but actually how simple it is to implement and get it right. It doesn't have to be a burden. And then on the other side, obviously the micro training that goes with it and all the possibilities that are there. So definitely contact Alan. All the links are down below. And thanks for joining us on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. And really, to everybody watching, if you've got a question, just drop me a line. I'd rather solve somebody's problem than, have them have to call the fire department or an ambulance or fix it later. It just hurts less if you just know.
Yeah, rather just be proactive and not have to go down that road. Great, thanks very much, Alan, and thanks for joining us on the show. And that's it. That's a wrap on this latest episode of Global News for Entrepreneurs. I will see you tomorrow evening at Explore Van. Remember, go get your tickets. Links are down below. I'll also see you on Tuesday with the next Global Online Speed Networking. Make sure you register and get your tickets. Links are down below. Friday for the FBiz show. Friday for the coffee shop show. Looks like I'm going to be everywhere for the next while. So thanks for tuning in. See you next week, Wednesday, 11 a.m. GMT +2 for the Global News for Entrepreneurs. And obviously, we record the show and put it